What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today we're doing APC formations, and I've been getting a lot of requests as to what I've been using this season. So let me share to you guys some of the APCs that I've been using. My primary one is composed of the Fallen Raven, the Ladder Gen, and the Mech Pilot, followed by my second APC, which is comprised of Kung Fu Master as well as Azure and the Flash. And for my third APC, I've been using the new hero, Lone Roamer, followed by Cyclone and Nightingale. And for my fourth APC, I've been using Thunder, Robust, and Ifan. These APCs have been doing really good for me, but there are other APC formations that have been good as well. So let's discuss that in this video, but before that, let's roll that intro. Hey, it's your boy Saiyan. Welcome to Vanilla Gaming. Let's go! Okay, so the first one we're gonna tackle right now is an APC that's been famously used over the past few years, that's been generally improved by one hero, and that's your Tuner, Cyclone, and Nightingale, which is the first row has been changed to the new hero, which is the Lone Roamer. And in this case, it's versus Angel of the Battlefield, Kung Fu Master, and the Flash. And as we all know, back then, the normal attack damage of the Nightingale APC is greatly countered by an APC that provides a lot of healing, a lot of treatment, and a lot of sustain. And in this case, your first row of the enemy is comprised of Angel of the Battlefield, that not only provides damage mitigation meaning it lessens the damage of the opponent, as well as it provides a lot of healing for the back rows, which is your Kung Fu Master and the Flash. Of course, we also have to include the Kung Fu Master, which is also a direct counter to the normal attack damage because its skills alone provides the damage reduction for normal attack. And you have the Flash, of course, that's a damage dealer, which basically dishes out damage to the opponent's APC. So as you can see, just on round 5, it's defeated. Okay, so this next one is basically a good formation to consider for those who maxed out the Fallen Raven. We have this new hero that's basically melee. It's a fighter and can tank for the back lines of your second and third row. And these are two good examples of formations that you can use with this hero. It's basically just different by the third hero used. So on the one end you have Fallen Raven, Thunderbolt, and Hunk, and on the other side you have Fallen Raven, Thunder, as well as Hammer. And the good thing about having Thunder and Hunk is because both heroes kind of synchronize with each other, having that burn damage. And burn damage, or the burn effect, is basically just burning the opponent and having that damage dealt over time. And on the other spectrum, you have Thunder and Hammer. Hammer being a ranged hero, it does more damage if it's in the third row. And of course, your Thunder in itself is a damage dealer with the burn effect. As you can see here, even with round 5 starting, the opposing team had only the Fallen Raven left. But what's good about this new hero is that you can still win if it does deal a lot of damage with the procs of its skills. So even with just by itself, it did a lot of damage to the second and third row of the enemy, that it's still on top. So this next one is for those commanders who are wondering, where do I use my Ifan now if I've maxed out the Fallen Raven and I'm using it at another meta APC, which before the Ifan was being used as a secondary hero for the second row of your Ladder Gen, then Ifan, then the Mech Pilot. But right now, since the Fallen Raven has kind of taken that place, This is actually a good APC to start with, which is the Beast, Ifan, and the Thunderbolt. All basically fighter heroes, and it kind of synchronizes with each other, having the damage output from the Beast and the Thunder, and of course adding to that, it adds the damage mitigation or the damage increase from the Ifan, depending on what skill procs it does. On the other end, like I said from the beginning of this video, I also have used my Ifan with Thunderbolt and Robust also having that reduction in heal, which I really love. So, but it's a shooter hero, so it's different from this one because this one is an all fighter hero. For mine, I kind of combine it with another troop hero because of its skills, but this also works out just fine. So as you can see, it's kind of perfectly matched here. The Beast kind of provides a tankiness in the front, and the damage being dealt by the Thunderbolt hero is also being protected by those two frontline heroes in this APC, which provides a victory for me. So for this next one, it's basically a fighter hero combination versus a all vehicle APC, which we all know, the tuner APC. And in this case, I've combined both the new hero, the Fallen Raven, as well as Ifan in the same APC. And actually, they started out with me having the lower end in troops, but even then, it still gave me the upper hand. I wouldn't recommend, of course, doing this formation if you have the latter gen hero. One of these heroes does synchronize well with the latter gen, so I would recommend you guys using it with the latter gen if you have it. If not, it's actually a good combination. As you can see here, it's just a duo working side by side each other, and it's able to defeat T10s of the tuner APC. So for this next one is basically trying out the new hero along with ladder gen and a normal attack damage shooter hero, which is the Nomad. And in this case, I'm versus the new meta APC, which is the ladder gen, Ifan, and the mech pilot. And in this case, it's just a synchronization of skills for the three heroes that I just presented to you, which is the Lone Roamer, the ladder gen, and the Nomad. And in this case, the ladder gen is the front line, which provides a lot of sustain and tankiness. And because of its skill, it gives its drones to the other two backlines, which provides more damage for the normal attack damage. And what you want here is for your Nomad to kind of dish out a lot of damage, since you're relying on him to kind of dish out that damage for you. But in the same manner, you also want the ladder gen to also dish out more damage coming from the support of your Lone Roamer, because the Lone Roamer kind of synchronizes well as well with the normal skill damage of your ladder gen. And in this case, basically it's just the two of them left after the Nomad's row being obliterated by the enemy. And even with just those two, the skills of both the Lone Roamer and the ladder gen kind of synchronize with each other, that it doesn't give the enemy enough opportunity to clear them out. It also does provide some sustain based on the defensive skill of the ladder gen. In this case, you see the enemy's first line of defense is already almost out, and my first and second line are still up and going, and it's still dishing out a lot of damage in normal attack. So even in the 8th round, it did enough for me to actually win this round over the opponent. Yeah! So this is a perfect example for an APC that commanders can use in case they don't have Nightingale maxed out. And basically you can substitute Nightingale with the S2 hero Ivan, and it does similar effects or damage to the enemy, which is your normal attack damage. So your composition will be Lone Roamer followed by Cyclone and Ivan. And in this case, it's versus a all-fighter squad, which is comprised of the two new heroes from this season and last season, which is your Fallen Raven, followed by your Thunderbolt and the new hero of last season, Ivan. And like I said in moments ago, combining the Fallen Raven and your Ivan is really strong. The tandem does provide a lot of sustain and damage mitigation that, as you can see here, the normal attack damage from this normal APC is defeated, and it doesn't dish out a lot of damage that it's defeated on the third round. So for this next one is actually a perfect example of using the Fallen Raven as well as your Ivan in tandem. The only difference is I tried mixing in a damage dealer for a vehicle type of hero, and in this case it's the mech pilot. So what you guys need to know is if you're trying to combine or mix formations, the might of the APC will be significantly lower to that of an APC that is the same troop type. So let's say in this case you have the Fallen Raven mixed with the Thunderbolt and Ivan, which are all fighter heroes. The 7 skill of these heroes kind of interlash with each other, which means that if they're fighting with other heroes that are of the same type of troop type, it adds on with the might. And the might is something to consider when doing these formations, because if you do, like, let's say an all vehicle type of formation, the might is kind of synchronized with each other and it provides more damage for your APC. So in this case, the difference is I had only two fighter type heroes on my APC, and being that the third one is a vehicle type, it did provide less might for my APC, which means it could have been the determining factor why I don't have enough damage being dished out, even though the mech pilot does provide some armor for your troops and it does provide some sustain and healing, but it wasn't enough for me to win this battle. And like I've said before, if you don't have the latter gen as a maxed out hero, having a full fighter squad is definitely the way to go in order to maximize the combined might from the other hero squads that will pitch in for those other squads. And in this case, as you can see, I have only one squad left by the 8th round and resulted in my defeat. And that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys loved it. And let me just announce, we're gonna have a live stream on April 23, 1 hour after game time. I'll see you guys there, and don't forget to like this video and of course subscribe to my channel. GG, well played. I'll see you guys next time.